One of the longest and most intense manhunts in recent American history is underway for an Army veteran named Travis Decker. For more than 3 months, federal agents, state troopers, and local deputies have been searching mountains, rivers, and forests. They sought answers to a horrifying crime that shook the quiet Wenatchee Valley of Washington. But who is Travis Decker, and what has he done that has placed him at the center of a nationwide pursuit, with law enforcement unsure if he is even alive? Travis Decker was born in 1992 in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, a quiet suburb west of Milwaukee. He grew up in a community known for its lakes and tight-knit feel, attending Pewaukee High School, where he excelled on the wrestling team. In 2010, as a senior, he competed in the state finals, showcasing the discipline and physical prowess that would define much of his adulthood. Sports instilled in him a sense of structure. After graduation, he enlisted in the U.S. Army, embarking on a military career that would take him far from Wisconsin. Travis's service began in earnest with active duty, where he honed skills in survival and combat. In 2014, he deployed to Afghanistan, facing the harsh realities of war that left lasting scars. The deployment exposed him to intense stress, and upon returning, he grappled with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Symptoms included night terrors, insomnia, and episodes that disrupted his daily life, such as screaming in his sleep and drenching the bed in sweat. Despite these challenges, Travis Decker found stability in family. He married Whitney, and together they built a life in Washington state, where he transferred to the Washington National Guard in 2021. Their family grew with the birth of 3 daughters, Peyton in 2016, Evelyn in 2017, and Olivia in 2020. By all accounts, Travis cherished his girls. Neighbors and acquaintances described him as an active dad, attending their soccer games, dance recitals, and theater productions. But beneath the facade of normalcy, cracks were forming. Travis's mental health deteriorated, compounded by diagnoses of borderline personality disorder and narcissism. His transition from active duty to the reserves brought instability. He struggled to secure consistent housing and maintain a predictable schedule. By 2022, the marriage had unraveled. The couple divorced in November of that year after about 7 years together, initially agreeing to an amicable parenting plan. Whitney retained primary custody. In September 2024, Whitney filed to modify the parenting plan in Chelan County Superior Court. Court documents painted a picture of neglect and emotional strain. One incident on August 15, 2024, involved one daughter found passed out with a bathrobe tied around her neck at Travis's mother's house. Another, on December 19, 2024, saw a daughter injure her fingers while Travis was reportedly absent and unresponsive. Whitney cited Travis's homelessness, as he was living out of his GMC Sierra pickup truck or in motels and campgrounds, and his untreated mental health problems as reasons to limit his access. The court agreed, ordering him to undergo anger management, domestic violence evaluations, and psychiatric assessments in Spokane, along with bi-monthly counseling. Overnight visits were prohibited, and Travis's time with the girls was restricted to 3 hours on Fridays and 8 hours every other weekend, all within Wenatchee Valley. Travis argued in court that his daughters should learn from his hardships, but the judge ruled against him on September 27. Whitney emphasized her wish for him to remain involved, acknowledging his military sacrifices and love for the girls, but prioritizing their safety. Despite the constraints, the arrangement held through the winter and spring of 2025. Travis continued to see his daughters regularly, and there were no overt signs of impending disaster. However, subtle indicators emerged. On May 26, 2025, Travis conducted online searches about relocating to Canada, along with browsing Canadian job sites. These actions, revealed later in a U.S. Marshals affidavit, hinted at possible plans to flee. But why did he want to flee? On May 30, 2025, a few days after his inquiries about moving to Canada, Travis arrived at the family home in Wenatchee to pick up Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia for a scheduled visitation. He chatted with Whitney for 15 to 20 minutes before departing around 5 p.m., promising to return by 8 p.m. The girls, excited for time with their dad, left in his truck. But 8 p.m. came and went with no sign of them. Whitney tried calling, but Travis's phone went straight to voicemail. Concerned, she contacted the Wenatchee Police Department around 9:45 p.m., filing a civil complaint and noting his mental health struggles. It was unlike him to vanish like this. The next day, May 31st, anxiety mounted. The family had planned to attend a running event, but they never showed. Police issued an endangered missing persons alert through the Washington State Patrol, as the case didn't meet Amber Alert criteria. Authorities described Travis as homeless, potentially in his vehicle or at local campgrounds, and urged the public to report sightings. On June 2nd, the search took a grim turn. Around 3 p.m., investigators located Travis's unoccupied GMC Sierra near Rock Island campground along Icicle Creek in Chelan County, outside Leavenworth. Nearby, they unfortunately discovered the bodies of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Each girl had plastic bags over her head, and their wrists were bound with cable ties. Scattered around were more ties and bags, along with bloody handprints on the truck's tailgate. The scene was haunting. Blankets, food, car seats, and a wallet inside the vehicle, and Travis's dog was found alive and well, but there was no sign of Travis Decker. Autopsies completed by June 9th confirmed the cause of death as suffocation, with the manner ruled homicide. Blood at the scene included human and non-human samples, as the latter matched the dog. On July 1st, DNA testing revealed the bloody handprints on the tailgate belonged to Travis. Further analysis on August 6th and 18th linked his DNA to the plastic bags and cable ties, alongside the girl's DNA, solidifying him as the sole suspect. No other DNA profiles were found, ruling out additional perpetrators. Charges followed swiftly. On June 2nd, Travis Decker was hit with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree kidnapping, upgraded from initial custodial interference. A warrant issued on June 3rd emphasized his military background, extensive training, including mountain survival school, making him capable of evading capture in rugged terrain. Authorities warned he might be armed and posed a significant risk. The manhunt launched immediately, coordinated by the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Swift water teams, K-9 units for tracking and human remains detection, air assets, and foot patrols scoured the dense forests around Rock Island Campground. The area, part of U.S. Forest Service land, featured steep hillsides, thick brush, creeks, and limited cell service, complicating efforts. By June 5th, Whitney's lawyer publicly lamented the system's failure to provide Travis with adequate mental health support through Veterans Resources, suggesting that timely help might have prevented the tragedy. The next day, Whitney speculated Travis had likely died by suicide. June 10th brought a $20,000 reward from the U.S. Marshals for information leading to Travis's arrest. The affidavit detailing his Canada-related searches surfaced, raising fears of an international flight. Audio from a family court hearing emerged on June 16th, capturing Travis pleading for more time with his daughters. As weeks turned to months, leads dwindled. By June 23rd, officials admitted no certain evidence indicated Travis Decker was alive or in the area, despite deploying cadaver dogs and investigating dozens of tips. On July 7th, a possible sighting in Idaho stirred brief hope but proved unconfirmed. The search footprint was reduced by July 25th due to fewer developments. August saw renewed intensity. DNA confirmations on August 6th and 18th reinforced the case against Travis. On August 25th and 26th, the FBI led a massive grid search covering over 247 acres near the campground. More than 100 searchers, from the CCSO, U.S. Marshals, U.S. Forest Service, Army CID, and even anthropologists from Central Washington University, fought their way through choking vegetation, punishing heat near 100 degrees, and unforgiving slopes. The operation recovered several items for examination, including bones now being tested to determine if they are human and might belong to Travis or not. 3 months into the manhunt, authorities have exhausted vast areas, from Blewett Pass to Mineral Springs, but Travis Decker remains at large. The police are not even sure if he is alive or not, with no conclusive evidence pointing either way. The search is still on for him, and Travis Decker's story is not yet finished. What comes next is unknown, but the weight of what has already happened ensures that this story will be remembered long after the case file is closed.